Claire, welcome to the podcast. It's such an honor to have you here.
Hi, Payal. Thank you so much for having me today.
Great. And I'm so excited for this conversation because when you and I connected earlier, there was so much I was learning from you, and I thought our audience have to listen to you. You are all about keeping your body young, your mind sharp, and how do you flourish with age. You are certified in wellness from the Harvard Medical School. So tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you reach to doing what you are doing?
Well, it started really in my childhood. I am an Italian American. I grew up in a family of five. My mother uh, was the head of the household, and she cooked the meals, and I just ate what she cooked, and she cooked healthy meals. What we were required to eat. And although I didn't know it at the time, I realize now that it really was the Mediterranean diet. It was a lot of um, vegetables. We always had some kind of protein, but it was mostly fish. Back in the day, back in the 60s, Italians had to follow the Catholic Church rules, and that was always fish on Fridays. And so my mother cooked fish. We had chicken sometimes on the grill and occasionally hamburgers. But we did not have a lot of meat. It was mostly vegetables. We had fruit for dessert. We did not have sweets. I never really acquired a sweet tooth. And the meals were well-rounded, and we were required by my father to eat everything on our plates, even, every last pea. So I really learned how to eat um, fruits and vegetables. And over time, as I grew up, I realized that that's the way I liked to eat. I grew up in the state of Michigan. That is the Great Lakes state, surrounded by five big, beautiful lakes, and it was a place to always be outdoors. So we did a lot of sports together as a family. We skied, cross country ski, water ski. We played tennis. We played golf. We went swimming a lot. And it was a place to enjoy nature. And so it was something that I also acquired a preference for, was to be outside, always moving and enjoying the company of family and friends. We always took friends with us when we, you know, did things like vacationing at the lake, at the beach. And so as I grew up, I realized that this was my lifestyle. This is what I loved to do. And so when I became an adult, I realized that I was kind of a health nut. I loved to eat healthy food, and I loved to always be doing something active outdoors, like hiking or swimming. And this is what I wanted to show other people, that they could do themselves to enjoy their lives. And it wasn't like, oh, you have to go to the gym and work out to be fit. No, you can just do things fun outdoors and eat healthy food. And healthy does not mean it has to taste bad. No, it actually tastes really, really good. So I thought, gosh, I can show people how to enjoy this lifestyle, and it is delicious and it's fun. Delicious and fun. What more could you ask for? So as I was deciding on a career, I realized that what I represented was wellness, which is sort of a recent term.
Mhm.
So I looked into how can I fit who I am into the current trends, and wellness popped up. And so I decided to get certified in wellness, and that's how I became a wellness coach. And here I am.
Wow, that's a journey, huh? But I must
Yeah.
say, I got a couple of things while you were talking, and one of them is what you mentioned is about sweets. There is so much of awareness these days that, don't eat too many sweets and sugar.
Yeah.
It just causes a lot of illnesses. Is that really true?
Yes, it is true. Sugar is considered a toxin. It's as toxic as tobacco.
Wow.
Um, and I will refer to the leading expert in aging and longevity, David Sinclair, and he claims that glucose, which is, a medical term for sugar,
Mm-hmm.
glucose is a predictor of aging and longevity. So I know everybody seems to love sugar and sweets, but it is a inflammatory um, material, and it is a predictor of aging, inflammation, and longevity.
Wow. And then the other thing that you said was about gym, that, those were the days where you were not hitting the gym or doing anything like that. But nowadays there is so much of focus and people advocate gymming and going to the gym. What is your take on that?
Well, if that's something people prefer to do, certainly they can go to the gym, and I'm not saying that they don't need to go to the gym. If they like to go to the gym and work out on the treadmill or on the recumbent bike or lift the weights, they can do that. That is not where I care to be. I feel claustrophobic in a gym. And by the way, lifting weights is a very good thing to do. And we could talk about that, but it's not what they have to do. I prefer to do something that I actually enjoy, like hiking, which is outdoors, it's in nature. I find myself craving something that fills my need for well-being. I don't find it in a closed-in gym. Now, I do like to swim a lot. I swim 3 times a week, and that's in a pool that's indoors. But I don't know, the gym just is claustrophobic to me. But some people might really enjoy going to the gym, and that's their preference. That's fine.
But definitely, looking at you, you're definitely defying age. That's what I can say about you for
Thank
sure.
you.
But Claire, when we talk about aging, what comes to the mind? Is it aging like you get tired soon, you start getting wrinkles, your skin is not great? What does it mean when we say, uh, it's early aging in someone? What signs do you
Well,
see?
first of all, let me say that according to the experts, aging is actually a disease. It is defined as a disease. It's not actually natural. It's a result of inflammation in the body. And it's true that we can slow down aging, and in fact, we can reverse it with
Mm.
certain strategies. But to name 2 or 3
Signs, like what are
things,
signs that you see that's it's early aging?
first of all, let me say that inflammation is what causes aging. Um, and some things that cause it are stress. And I know that in our fast-paced world, we all feel stress, right?
Mm.
We all do. But we can minimize our stress with certain techniques.
Yeah.
But stress is number one. Stress is a big cause of premature aging. And what happens is when we feel stress, and especially chronic stress, our bodies produce hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. And when those hormones are flowing through our bodies constantly, it's wear and tear on our bodies.
Oh.
And then our bodies start showing it, um, which is a result of the inflammation, and it starts showing up in little ways like losing our hair, wrinkles in our our face, usually on around the eyes or around the mouth, balding, fatigue, indigestion, things like that. So
Right.
stress is one of the first signs of premature aging. Another one is high glucose levels in the blood.
Mhm.
Now, that's not something that you would know without a blood test, but there
Okay.
are indications um, of high glucose levels, such as um, resist, resistance, like insulin resistance,
My
which
God. Okay.
causes you to gain weight. Um, or, and again, these some of these things only show up in your blood work, but gaining weight is one, or craving sweets is another one. Because some
My God.
people deal with stress by craving sweets or craving
Yeah.
alcohol. That's another way that people deal with stress is, oh, I need a drink when I get home from work. But that is, alcohol has a lot of sugar in it. But wanting sweets is an indication that you have high glucose in your blood. So another way that premature aging occurs is through insomnia. And insomnia causes inflammation. And I'm not talking about like one night you have a bad night of sleep, but I'm talking about,
Regular.
yeah,
A regular
constant.
pattern.
Um, and when you have chronic insomnia, that really shows up on your body. And it will show up in some of the ways I mentioned. It actually is just like stress. It will show up in bags under your eyes. You'll start getting wrinkles on your skin. Your hair will fall out. You will start gaining weight, believe it or not, because cortisol and adrenaline will start flowing through your body. And you will you can start getting fatty tissue around your belly. And of course, you're going to feel chronically exhausted.
Yeah.
So insomnia
Absolutely.
causes
And
inflammation. Go ahead.
And you just mentioned, right, that these are like the signs like stress and everything, and the signs that it shows on our body. I think most of us, we ignore these signs like indigestion or, these wrinkles. We just ignore because we are so running around in our day-to-day life. We ignore
Mm-hmm.
these signs and then eventually it builds up. It's like weight. Slowly and gradually you start to either put on or you decrease, right? So this also takes time, and then suddenly it's like boom, you're like, oh my, what happened to me? And then it's like it's already gone ahead.
True. I know. And we do ignore it because so often it just creeps up little by little.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
might gain 1 pound here,
True.
1 pound there, and the next thing you know, you've gained 10 pounds or
Absolutely.
20 pounds.
Absolutely. And people
And
don't
also like sleep,
yeah.
we need 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and you might be getting 6 hours of sleep, and you don't even really pay attention to how many hours of sleep. But sleep is so critical because it's the time when the body is repairing damaged tissue. It's when cells are regenerating, and it's when the body is restoring itself and regenerating, or it's building up new energy for the next day. But so sleep is vitally important, and so
Yeah.
many people ignore the importance of sleep, but that causes inflammation if you're not getting good sleep every night.
Absolutely. And, there are a lot of people who have this that, you're sleeping early, like maybe you sleep by 10 or 10:30 and you wake up at 4 or 4:30. Is that enough? Like, has the body repaired? Because a lot of people who love to wake up early, they love to wake up at 4 o'clock, 4:30, do their yoga, do the meditation, and then proceed with the day rather than rushing through the day. How does that fit
Well,
with
I
your
like to get up. I like to wake up early too. So if you sleep from 10 to, would you say 4:30? That's
Yeah.
6.5 hours.
So
I,
that's
I
good,
can't
right?
really answer that because everybody is different
Okay.
and each
Okay. So just as
person
per your
needs,
body. Just as per your body.
yeah, everybody needs everybody has different needs. Generally speaking, everyone should get a minimum of 7 hours of
Wow.
sleep.
Okay.
But like I
That's
said,
so good.
everybody is
Yeah.
different, so I'm not going to scold anybody if they didn't get 7 hours of sleep. But
Yeah,
I
but that
know
answers it.
I need,
Yeah.
yeah, and I agree. I like to get up early and, do my little routine and so forth. But so
Yeah.
each person is different, and it's really how you feel over a long period of time and how your body is responding to you each and every day. Is it performing for you? I think that's the test.
Okay. And talking about aging, aging is a natural phenomena, right? It's basically something that's going to happen eventually with time. We might not be able to stop it, but how do we slow down this process?
Um, we can actually slow it down. And in fact, we can reverse aging. And I'm going to answer you with the expertise based on the leading or from the leading expert in the arena of longevity and aging.
Okay.
His name is David Sinclair. He is from the Harvard Medical School.
Okay.
And if anybody wants to refer to David Sinclair, he has many YouTube videos that talks about aging, reversing aging, slowing down aging. And he's fascinating, but he has simple talks and has these
Okay.
strategies
Okay.
of his own. So let me talk about just three of them
Okay.
that people can do that's starting today. First of all, to slow down aging, do some form of aerobic exercise at least 3 times a week. And during the period of exercise, get your breathing going so that you lose your breath for at least 10 minutes. So an aerobic exercise is a exercise where it's repetitive,
Yeah.
such as
Yeah.
walking briskly, or cycling, or swimming, or rowing, and do that for a minimum of 30 minutes. And in that 30 minutes, lose your breath for at least 10 of the 30 minutes.
Is that similar to cardio?
Cardio, yes, that's another word for it.
Okay.
Yes. And the purpose of this aerobic exercise, of course, it makes our body healthy if we
Mhm.
do it consistently. And it the idea, according to David Sinclair, is it slows aging by lowering the glucose levels in our body when we do it consistently. So his theory is that what his strategies for slowing and reversing aging is to lower the glucose level in our bodies. Second point is to fast, to fast during the day and keep our window of eating shorter. So his suggestion is to eat a window of eating for 6 hours.
Okay.
And that means that we're not eating for 8 hours. I mean, 18 hours.
Okay.
So, in other words, let's say that you would only eat from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And I realize that's a short window of eating, but his point is then you would only eat 2 meals and maybe a little snack in between.
Okay.
You would have lunch, maybe a little snack, and then dinner. And the idea is all that time that you are not eating, which most of it is sleeping. So you're
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
really uncomfortable. The whole period of when you're not eating your body is in some sort of a starvation mode. And during that period of time, your glucose level is low.
Hmm.
And when your glucose level is low, your body is slowing aging.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And then
nice.
the third strategy is to reduce your calories by eliminating or avoiding certain foods. And here they are. One, sugar, of course. Two, bread. Three, alcohol. Four, dairy. And
Wow.
five, red meat. Now, of course, you might eat some of these now and then, but by and large, eliminate those five foods
True.
from your diet.
Wow. Okay.
And you will reduce calories, and you will primarily reduce sugar
Hmm.
from
Hmm.
your diet. First of all, you'll lose weight automatically. But ideally, you're going to lower the glucose level from your body and some fat as well. And by lowering the glucose level, you are slowing aging. So
Hmm.
his primary theory is to lower the glucose level from your body as far as it can go. And that is the key to slowing aging.
Okay, that's nice. And earlier you spoke about routine while we were discussing this. So what is a great morning routine to follow?
Well, I'll tell you what mine is. When I get up, I have a tall glass of water with a squeeze of lemon. And after that, I do like a 10-minute meditation, and I set like three intentions for the day. I sort of, meditate on three intentions that I want to have for the day, what I want to accomplish, something meaningful, and I write them down. And then I do Tai Chi for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And Tai Chi helps me feel energized and balanced, which sort of um, sets my intentions, grounds me with my intentions. And it's just so all those things together just take a matter of maybe less than 30 minutes.
It prepares you for the day, right? I mean, you just feel so much
It
in
does.
control.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I like having a little routine. And then after that, I have my to-do list and I write down my to-do list of everything I'm going to accomplish from, after that point throughout the rest of my day. And it includes both personal and business activities. And I
Hmm.
get such joy crossing things off my list.
Yes, I can almost take that. My day starts very early, and the morning routine I have is something which I love to stick to because I feel without it, I feel very incomplete. If I do not have my morning routine and if I miss it for any reason, I just feel incomplete. So I can resonate with what you're saying. It's so important.
I agree.
But I know there are
Yeah.
so many people, Claire, who we are so busy with our corporate life, with our businesses. We just wake up in the morning and that's it. We just start our day off and then everything impacts us.
I think there are books written about the importance of habits
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
routines. And,
Yeah,
I function best with my habit, which is same as the
yeah,
routine, I think. And
absolutely.
doing what I do is very habitual.
Right. It's so important. So, Claire, what is your one big piece of advice to our listeners who are on their journey to success?
um, well, it's what I do every day. And to be productive, I think you have to feel good. You have to feel energetic. You have to you have to feel confident and trust that your body is going to work well for you. And the only way to do that is to take good care of yourself.
Hmm.
And the best way you can take care of yourself is to eat well, to exercise, to sleep well, to have a positive mindset, and to have good relationships in your life.
Wow.
And those are like the 5 pillars of wellness.
Oh, that's nice. You summed it up so well, everything. So, thank you so much, Claire. It's been such an honor that you were here with me today. We were chatting on wellness and longevity, and it is such an honor to have you with us. So, thank you for your time and insights.
It was my pleasure to be here with you today, Payal.
Great. And this one's for our listeners. This is Claire and Payal Nanjiani wishing you loads of success in your career life. God bless.
Thank you.